So the Yankees look lifeless right now. They were swept in a two-game series by the Philadelphia Phillies in Philly, and today's game was a 7-0 defeat. And Domingo Germán started against Aaron Nola, which is already a disadvantage because Aaron Nola is one of their, he probably is their ace. But Germán didn't have it, and he gave up a total of seven runs. Even after he left, a couple of runs that came in were still linked to him when the bullpen came in. But the majority of the offense on the Philly side and I think they had 12 hits, and the Yankees had 4. And the Phillies just look like a better team right now. So, obviously it was going to be hard to hit Nola already, but I thought the offense would fare a little bit better. But unfortunately, they're not showing any pattern of consistency this season at all. And that, to me, is a sign that some adjustments need to be made in the lineup. And the lineup is just not built to beat teams like the Phillies, which have a stronger lineup and more diverse lineup. Guys like Harper and Segura, and guys they play little ball. Ronald Torres, former Yankee, and they've got Alec Bohm, a young stud hitter, and they've got Rhys Hoskins. They've got Odubel Herrera. A lot of these guys play key roles this weekend in beating the Yankees. So, the Phillies just took this series. Thankfully, the Yankees have off tomorrow. Hopefully, they can kind of reshuffle a little bit and get their heads right, and before they go into the next game on Tuesday. But it's every kind of series is, to me, becomes more of an indicator that the Yankees are just they have to make some moves. Now, obviously, Taillon is not really playing up to the expectations. One of the problems I think with this teams are big hype and big expectations, but then low performance. And that's not for every player, but that's with certain guys. So, and it is what it is. And there's always going to be big expectations when you come to New York. Sometimes I think they're unfair, but sometimes I think they're warranted as well. And the Yankees they're unfortunately playing like kind of unwatchable team right now, which stinks because, one, because it's the Yankees, and they do have a lot of firepower in there. But I think instead of nuclear bombs, I think they need some M80s. And I've said this before, getting guys that are more versatile, more athletic, guys that spray the ball across the field. We don't have a lot of that, and a lot of these other teams that they compete against do. So I think it's important for the Yankees to start looking to do some things. And I know some folks have already said, get rid of him. I get that, and some of the folks did hype the Taillon and Kluber, and I thought it was is best that he could do at the time. But unfortunately, patchwork trades, patchwork free agency, and patchwork pitching staff generally leads to patchwork results. I mean, and the Yankees have done a lot of patchwork over the years with Chacon and John Lieber and a bunch of these other folks, and it never really panned out the way that some wanted it to, or maybe the way that they wanted to. And some of them, pitched pretty well, but Taillon and Kluber, as much as I like them both, it's just not enough for this Yankee team, especially if they want to be an elite team. They need another big frontline starter, period. And and I'm also looking for a reverse in a trend from Aroldis Chapman as well. Will he start to kind of spiral downward again? Hopefully not. So this is a sign with if he rebounds, then you could say, okay, just a bad little stretch there. But he generally has had some downward spirals before, and we want to make sure that doesn't happen again, particularly if he's ever in consideration for a trade. Go back to his dominant ways quickly, and then he'll revamp his trade value almost immediately. So, but, the offense, there wasn't really much to speak about today. 4 hits, little hits, so, and that's pretty much it. Again, it's been wildly inconsistent, and I know Luke Voit hit a double today in his rehab game and stuff like that, but I can't rely on him to be the savior, just like we can't rely on, anybody else to be the savior, unfortunately. I'm not going to be able to rely on Luis Severino to be the savior if and when he comes back this season. So just unfair expectations sometimes, and just non-realistic expectations lead to just frustrating results. And unfortunately, the Yankees have kind of fallen prey to this over the last couple of years. They need to surround Garrett Cole with some better, frontline guys in the rotation. Obviously, they need to, bring in some more versatile players for the bullpen. And I know I'm beating the same drum. It's like I'm preaching to the choir, but the more they don't do it, the more we're going to say that they should. So, especially me. And I would give up a lot of top prospects. I mean, a lot of them are blocked anyway. And the fact is, a lot of the top prospects on the Yankee side, pitching or catching, are in the lower levels of the minor league anyway. And even the only guys that are close to the majors right now are outfield prospects. Stevan Florian and guys like that, Trey Ambergy, like even their infield prospects like Oswald Peraza, they're still a little bit away from the major league, but they could be valuable trade assets. So that's where kind of the Yankees, I think, need to focus on, like boosting the corner outfield positions, boosting some of the infield positions, boosting pitching as well at this draft. And I'm going to talk about the draft in my next video because I think it's important. I have some ideas on the draft, and I just some concerns about the way that the draft is laid out. So you let me know what you think. But that's the recap today, unfortunately. They were down 7-0. That's the way it finished. And hopefully they'll, clear up their heads tomorrow, get a day rest, and come back, better than before on Tuesday. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you next time.